Una, Gabi. Is that right?
Yeah,
Una?
it's right.
Okay.
Una.
Good. How are you, Gabi?
Well, I'm fine. I have a little cold, so I sound a bit tough.
Oh, well, the
My
weather.
voice is a bit funny.
That's good. We'll take it slow. No worries. Okay. We have Gabi Toma. She's a self-taught graphic designer and illustrator based in Bucharest, Romania. Studied urban planning and worked as an urban planner for almost 7 years before switching to graphic design. Gabi Toma, I'm going to go in Spanish now. Gabi Toma es una diseñadora gráfica autodidacta e ilustradora que es de Bucarest, Rumania. Estudió planificación urbana y ha trabajado como una planificadora urbana por casi 7 años antes de ser diseñadora gráfica. Gabi Toma pinta gatos, unos gatos espectaculares. Los vamos a poner ahora acá y voy a buscar mi iPad. Why do you paint cats? Why? Why cats?
Well, because I love them.
Easy.
I've always liked cats, and when I don't know what to do, what to paint, what to draw, I usually draw what I like. So that's why I draw cats, because it helps me, helps my workflow somehow. If I draw something that I like, or I find easy to draw, then everything else will come naturally to me.
Yes, painting cats is always a good choice.
Yes.
Let me just look for your work so people know what we are talking about and why we have Gabi with us today. Let's see, Gabi. And there you are. Okay. So these are Gabi's cats. They are fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh, they're so cute. Wait, let's see. Okay, for people who are joining us, you can ask Gabi and we'll try to answer the questions. And si quieren saber de Gabi, nos los pueden poner en español y lo contestamos. Or in Romanian, right? So you're doing animations as well.
Yeah, I like doing that too.
It's fantastic. Oh, this is one of my favorites. I just saw it and it's just beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Okay, since when have you been doing art, Gabi?
Well, like most people, I've always been drawing since I was a kid, like all kids. But I loved it so much that I continued drawing up until now. And professionally, I've actually been a graphic designer and illustrator for about 7 years.
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful work. Let's see. Let me grab my pen. I'm a little bit disorganized today. Okay. How do you define your art style? Why do you think it's your style?
I think this is a very tough question in general because I have a very hard time to define my style. I don't feel that I'm there yet. I mean, I feel that my style is always changing. I still have a lot to learn. And I still like to explore and try out different things. And I have noticed that I have certain elements that I turn to over and over again, but overall I don't perceive my style as being something very clear, very well formed yet. Maybe someday.
Maybe someday. How was your 2020?
Very stressful.
Very stressful.
I've been working from home, and everything has gone very well, but it has been a very stressful year because of all the news and the chaos and everything.
Everything, yes. Everything.
And I've had a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, of course. Everybody's like crazy.
But all in all, it was a good year. I have no complaints. A lot of people had it a lot harder than me.
Is this you?
Yes. That's me trying to finish my reading list for 2020. And I haven't managed to finish
You have
it.
a long reading book, a list. You do. You have like
I've
5 books to read?
I've discovered that there's this reading list challenge on Goodreads. and I decided to set my own goal to 50 books a year. And I've managed to read 47, which is good. I'm happy with that.
That's a lot. Yes, it
I came
is.
close enough. Yeah.
Very, very close.
Mm.
Good. Okay. Your art first impressions. What did people say about your art when they saw your cats and what you paint and your style? This is fun. I
I've
love
always
this.
gotten very nice feedback for my art, and the first feedback I ever got from actual clients was back when I used to go to fairs. I used to make handmade jewelry from air dry clay and paint cats and other things and flowers and whatnot. And I did that because I wanted to get this feedback from actual people to see how they react to what I do. And it was amazing. I mean, they
I
were
bet.
so nice,
I bet
and
it
they
was.
also made such helpful observations that helped me do things better. Even now, I think about what I've learned back then.
Yes, I think the open air markets, art markets, are very good
Hmm.
for us because we can learn
Yeah,
from other artists, from the people.
exactly. Hmm.
Sometimes they give you ideas that you didn't have
Hmm.
before, so it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
miss that as well. We haven't been in any yeah, open air markets since
I
COVID,
met
so
some great artists when I went to fairs. I met such great people there. I really miss it.
yeah, of course we all do, little ones.
That is it.
Uh, okay, how do you feel when you are creating?
Well, whenever I'm working on projects, I usually feel very overwhelmed at first, because I don't know where to start. I mean, I know that I will get organized and start working on the project and do it eventually, but I always feel a bit overwhelmed at first. And afterwards, when I start working on it and getting progress done and I get really focused,
Mm-hmm.
I start losing track of time. And then at the end, when I see the finished work, I get so ecstatic.
Then you feel good.
And yeah, I feel very euphoric, like I'm a kid again, like I received this present and I'm happy. It's the best
Most,
feeling.
yes, most artists that I have talked to, they say the same thing. They feel anxious,
Hmm.
that they feel like they won't achieve what they
Yeah.
are required to. But
Hmm.
usually, then when the anxiety releases, then you just start enjoying your art, and that's pretty good. Is this a book that you illustrated? I'm sorry, this one.
Which one? No, that's not an illustrated book. I just illustrated the cover.
The cover. So the
Yeah, the
cover
book
is
has no
yours.
illustration.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. And do you have any children's book or not yet?
Yes, I've illustrated two children's books.
Because I can see your illustration is just fantastic for that um, that purpose. And this is yours as well,
Again, I that's a cover I illustrated. I
and
work
a
for a
cover,
local
book
publishing
covers.
house, and I did graphic design for book covers and also illustrations for book covers.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm.
Uh, how about this one?
Again, that's the cover I illustrated for my Imbialik's book.
I love my Bialik.
Yeah,
She's
she's really nice.
fantastic. She's
Hmm.
very nice. That's beautiful. Well, I mean, your art is fantastic. Oh, this is a cat that's going to outer space.
That, yeah, that's for Inktober,
Hi,
last year's
Adriana.
Inktober.
This is just so cool. It's beautiful. And then you have like these on the piano.
Yeah, for last year's Inktober, I decided to challenge myself and try out collage for the first time, and it has been a challenge, more so than I thought.
And did you do a digital collage
No, no,
or
no. I
actual
did
traditional
two.
collage?
I did actually two of the illustration were made digitally because I went on a trip and I couldn't take everything with me. But the rest of them were traditional collage
This is
illustration.
beautiful. This is me. like at night. Okay.
That's how I feel when I see my cat sleeping.
What would you change about the art world?
Well, about the art world in general,
In general,
um,
yes.
I would like that there were more emphasis put on practical things like how to start your business as an artist, how to make a living out of your art,
Yep.
because I see a lot of people struggling, and myself included,
Mm-hmm.
with these things, and not many people actually, when they start out, know how to make money with what they do. So that's one of the things I would change, more
Mm-hmm.
education on this part.
Mm-hmm.
And also I would like to find a way to address the problem of art theft, specifically online art theft, because there are a lot of big brand companies that use artists' work without
Yeah, like all
without giving
these.
credit
Yep, they do,
or
and
paying them.
yeah, I see that many artists have the same problem that
Yeah,
these great, I mean, these not great, these large companies just sell your art for, I mean, on T-shirts, and they're like two
yeah, yeah.
dollars, $2 a T-shirt, and then it's just like, how come? I mean, these people are stealing the art from other people and just
And it's
selling
very
it.
hard to take action
It
because
is very
I
hard.
mean, if to make them take the art down, or the product down, and even if you were to talk to a lawyer, it's very expensive. No one has the money to do that, and
No.
it would be nice to have some way to do this as a
Hmm.
community, to signal these things and make it
Yeah.
work online directly without causing any
Yeah.
other
The
problem.
The only thing that I see that could work is just showing your artwork, making claims that this is what's happening on your Instagram, and having other artists repost your
Yeah.
complaints, and also just trying to say that I mean, trying to get the people not to buy stuff from these companies.
Yes, that's important. I mean, educating clients is very
Educating.
important, as well as other artist support. But I think there's need for something more general, more automatic, like I don't know, some support from Google or other, from the browsers or from servers, or
Exactly. Yeah, there's no way we
general
can.
solution.
Exactly, that's true. Yeah, you're the second person that has said that about all these companies. Have you encountered any barriers or obstacles during your career as an artist?
Well, looking back, I think that the biggest obstacle is myself, because um, because I'm a self-taught artist, for instance, and when I started doing graphic design and illustration, I always felt that I should have gone to art school, or or at least take some courses, official courses, to get a diploma or something, because I always felt like I was missing things,
Mm-hmm.
missing knowledge on this part. But in time, I watched a lot of tutorials, I read a lot of books, I did online courses, and I learned a lot of things on my own. And I think it only depended on myself to get to learn a lot of things that would
Yes,
help me
I
in my
think
career.
that yeah, I believe that hard work is just like the only way
Yeah,
to do it. I mean, even though if you had like years of knowledge and like academic knowledge, if you don't have persistence
yeah.
and you're not a hard worker, then you won't go anywhere. So I
Yeah, you
think
have to
that
believe in
prevails.
yourself.
That prevails. Yes, I'm gonna show
Yeah.
this one again because that's one of my favorites. Oh, and this beautiful. This is the collage that you were talking about
Yeah, yes.
with newspaper. It came out great,
It's actually
beautiful.
an old book,
Oh, okay, it's
because
an old
I
book.
picked it from an antique shop just because of its the color of the pages, because it's a bit
Exactly, it's the
yellowish.
yellowish. Yes. That came out great. What media or technique do you use, Gabi?
Well, I use mixed media and mixed techniques.
Mm-hmm.
I draw traditionally in watercolor and gouache, and
Okay.
also I like to use, sometimes I use markers and ink and colored pencils. But also use, I draw digitally.
Okay.
Uh, I I've bought an iPad 2 years ago, and I've been using it extensively ever since because it's very
It's
easy to use.
Oh, of course, and you have that
And
undo, and you can go back, which
yes,
traditionally you wouldn't be able to do it. Oh
yes,
yeah,
it's more efficient to draw in that way,
yeah,
and the textures
it is.
in Procreate are wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And I also use a Wacom tablet, and I draw in Photoshop, and I use other software as well. But lately I've just been using my iPad and my sketchbook.
Yeah, and Procreate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fantastic app. Okay, what's the importance of cats
In general,
I mean, in your art?
in my art.
Yeah, because you have
Um,
cats, you have dogs, you have birds.
well, as I said, I like drawing cats usually because I feel relaxed when I draw them,
Mm-hmm.
and when I have no other idea, I know that I start with a cat and then build on that, and the other ideas will come,
Is this
and
you?
that's how I workflow. Yeah, well, I no, I didn't do that. I thought about it, but I didn't do it
And the
in the
cat is just like, are you gonna do that? Don't do that.
end. I didn't.
These are fantastic. I'm enjoying
But I
this
did
so
cut my
much.
husband's hair, and
You did.
and it was funny.
He was the victim.
Yes, he was.
Tell us about your noir cat, your alter ego, like you say. Let me just look for it.
Yes.
I'm gonna look for it.
Well, um,
Noir
Gato
gato. I'm
Noir.
sorry, noir
Yeah,
gato noir.
yeah,
Yes.
that was the name I found available on Instagram because Gato Noir was taken, so it
Uh-huh.
was switched. This is a personal project of mine, which started as mm, a, an activity uh, created out of pure boredom.
Mhm.
When I get bored, I start doodling, and at
Oh,
some
that's
point
good.
I started doodling black cats because I had this new black gel pen, and I started doodling black cats in different funny situations. And then I thought about making this Instagram page and posting them there. And
It's
then
fantastic.
I came up with the idea that, hey, this could be my experiment page because I can use only black and white, which is simple to use, and I can use simple shapes, and I can animate, and I can experiment with textures and whatnot, just for
That's good.
fun
That
and
was a good
without
idea.
many restrictions. So yeah, this is Noir, my experiment
Wow.
page.
That
I don't post
was
very often, just when I have time, but
that post. He looks like one of my cats. It's a really fat black cat. It's beautiful. I think, I mean, having, and I always say this, if you want to have an escape, just and have people look at what you're doing, just create a separate Instagram account where you can just publish whatever you want, and that's a pretty
yeah,
good idea. And you came up with this during the quarantine, or was before?
no. I came up with this. I don't know when I can't remember when I created the Noir page, but it was some while ago. But yeah, it was this no pressure page where I could start testing short animations and other doodles and relaxing, and
That's fantastic. I love it. I mean, it's just so cool.
it has no other purpose than just having fun and drawing cats.
But you should, I mean, you probably are going to get a book out of this because these are just fantastic and they have a story.
I thought about that, but I never got the time to do it.
But you will.
made time to do
Eventually.
it.
You will
Hopefully, yeah.
eventually. Yes, you will.
Nor should be in a book.
Noir should be a book, exactly. Do you listen to music or audiobooks or podcasts while you are
I don't.
painting? You don't?
I can't do it. I tried listening to podcasts and audiobooks and also music, but I can't focus because even with music, I feel the need to focus on the music because I
That's
like it so much.
so
It's
you.
something that I really like, even on radio.
That's
So
good.
the only things I can listen to are like lo-fi music or something instrumental, maybe. And also I have this thing where I like to watch old sitcoms because the ones that I saw so many times in the past because I already know them by heart and they
You
don't
don't have
distract
to.
me. So,
Yeah, it's
so
just like
I watch
me and
Seinfeld a lot
Seinfeld. I do too.
because I know all the jokes and I don't mind them. I like
Yeah,
having
you
them
don't have to like think
in the
about it. It's
background.
just like, yeah, it is.
Exactly.
It is. Seinfeld's always good. Any time, it doesn't matter how old you are. Seinfeld is
Yeah.
just fantastic. Okay, has your art changed over time?
Um, I feel that it has. I mean, I can definitely see an improvement in my technique and also in my workflow because I've been trying to become more efficient and pay more attention to how I do things. And I also, in time, I've read a lot of books and tried to take more courses in graphic design, for instance, or illustration,
Mhm.
or I've also tried to learn how to use different software, and so my work has improved and has changed because I've learned a lot of things in, in these 7 years I've been doing this, and I feel that in the future this will happen again. So I will change. It will change
Yeah, we'll
constantly.
always, yeah, as an artist, I feel the same way too. We're always changing
Hmm.
and creating things and trying to improve.
You always learn one
Yeah,
way or another.
always, always. Okay. What kind of art do you like for yourself?
I don't have a specific art current that I like the most, and I like them all actually, because I don't like the current as a whole necessarily, but I like artwork works from different artists from different time periods, and and I don't have a favorite. I mean, it's hard to choose one. However, I do love um, art installations a lot like Eiko Sama's, the immersive installations with the lights and the sound, and I find those fascinating.
Mhm.
I've managed to go to the Mori building in Tokyo, where they have more than one. They have a lot of installations by TeamLab, which use sound and different shapes in the ceiling, in the walls, and materials and
That's
textures
yeah,
and
that's
light.
that's very
And
interesting.
yeah, and I find it amazing. I always like the combination of different media.
Hmm. Okay, what work do you most enjoy doing? Traditional or digital, or both?
I like them both. I don't have a favorite here either, because it depends on my mood. Sometimes I don't have time or the energy to whip out my sketchbook and my watercolors and everything, so I'll take the iPad because I'm lazy and I just start sketching and I feel great
Hmm.
doing so. And other times I feel like, okay, I need some watercolors now.
Exactly, exactly.
And
Yeah, I
I
feel
pull
the
them
same.
out and I start painting and it's amazing.
I feel the
So it
same.
depends on my mood.
Okay. Can you describe a real life situation that has inspired you on one of the paintings?
Well, I'm always inspired by what happens to me or what I read or music or whatnot. But as an example, recently, for instance, at the beginning of the pandemic, when I started working from home, everything was so overwhelming that I became so anxious, and I thought about making this illustrated journal where I would draw every day, where some days if I didn't feel like
But
drawing
that's
every
a good
day.
idea. A journal.
And I started drawing what I was doing in that period. Like I started planting different seeds like basil and I don't know parsley, or I was baking a lot, or I was making lots and lots of lists, or I was starting exercising or whatnot. And I started illustrating these activities, and that helped me a lot because it gave me this routine in which I started focusing on other things, not only on the news and
That's
everything that was confusing me and
exactly,
stressing me out.
exactly. What do you like about your work?
Well, I like my work because it makes me happy.
So it makes you
uh,
happy. That's a
yeah,
good reason. That's a
yeah,
good thing, of course. Do you do any research for your art research?
yes. Well, depends on what I do. If it's just a doodle for me to relax, and I don't research those. But if I'm working on a more complex project, like a book cover, for instance, or
Yeah,
illustrations for a book, or I don't know, client work, I will do research. Like I will look I will create mood boards. I will look for different uh, styles, textures, colors, references for animals or I don't know objects or buildings or
mood boards. That's a good. Okay. Do you have a dream project or a goal? Like we
well,
were saying, make a book out of noir.
yeah, that is actually one of my goals. I would like in the future sometime to make my own book from
It
start
would
to
be great.
finish. Yeah, and
Yeah, so
I don't know
much.
how self-published or not, but I would like somewhere in the future to create my own book,
Of course,
a
you should.
children's book or an adult book, depending on the situation.
You
And
have.
also, I would like to make a short animation in
That's
my
good. Yeah, that would be
future
great.
sometimes.
Oh, that would be great. Yes, of course. Tell us about your animal companions.
Well, there's only one actually. I have a cat. She's called Stella, and
Stella.
Stella.
Hmm.
That's her name. We
Like
found her.
Seinfeld Stella.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
um, we found her near our apartment building a few years ago, and she was
Mhm.
so friendly and so nice. And I always wanted a cat and never had one. So I picked her up and brought her home,
Of
and
course.
she's been with us ever since. And I also have another cat, but she's my parents' cat actually. Her name is Sonia, and she's a white Persian.
Oh,
And I sometimes feature her on my Instagram page in the stories, but she doesn't like to be photographed very much because she's very old. She's 13, and she's grumpy,
yeah.
but
I
she's
mean,
beautiful.
yeah, we have Persians, and they're just cute, so cute, so
Mm.
laid back. This is beautiful.
That's how Stella sleeps. That's her.
Okay, your animal companions. Do you have any famous cat, real or fictional, that you follow?
Um, I
Hi,
I think
Cesar.
that I like a lot of famous cats, but I think that my favorite would be a cat from a novel. The narrator of Natsume Soseki's um, I Am a Cat novel,
Mm-hmm.
which is this very funny, cute novel about uh, uh, where the story is told about by a cat,
It's
and he's
the title of the book is I Am a Cat. Is it?
yeah,
Okay,
hmm
I'm gonna look for it.
and the cat is so witty and funny, and yeah, that's my favorite
And yeah, I'm gonna look for it
famous.
anyway. Okay,
Yeah, it's a really good book.
it must be. Um, where can we find your merchandise? Do you
um,
have I mean, a store, shop, an online shop?
I don't have a personal shop because my my website is being built as we speak. It will
Okay.
take
Oh,
some
it's been
time
built.
until
Okay,
it's
so you will have it.
yeah, I'm working on it. It will take some
Okay.
time until I get to it, but I'm hoping this year I will have a website first, and then we'll see about the shop.
But you have Redbubble, which is good.
Yes, but I do sell my designs. I upload my designs on platforms like Threadless and Redbubble, and you can find me at gabitoma.threadless.com or gabitoma.redbubble.com.
Great.
There's all the links are in my description in Instagram.
Yeah, I saw your link tree. I'm gonna put that there so people can buy your stuff. This is like
Yes, that was me dreaming about my giant radishes, which never grew.
so. If you want to have something from Gabi, you can go. I'm gonna leave the link tree, and then you can from there. You can go to Redbubble, and then you can just order from there whatever you want. And she's building a. You're building a website. Is it going to have a shop?
I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure about what products I would like to create, and I want first to finish the site because I've been working on it for about a year, and I'm on and off, and it's still not ready.
It takes a lot of time and concentration, and you have to. Yeah, it's not. I mean, I rather have like someone do it for me because it's just too much that I cannot deal with. You know, it's just like buttons and adding this and adding that, things that I'm not good at it. So I just rather hire someone that takes care of web design, which is much easier for me. Well, Gabi, thank you so much. And you were afraid that your English wasn't so good. It's perfect.
Thank you.
I mean, it's perfect.
I hope everybody understood what I said.
It's perfect. You'll listen to it. I'm gonna post this on YouTube. It's gonna be here for your friends to watch it. And as I said before, I'm going to leave the her link tree so you can just purchase her art and look at it and enjoy it. It's beautiful. And thank you so much, Gabi, for accepting my invitation for Gatos talk show, which is just a crazy idea I had to just to share what artists think about their art and how they do it, and who is behind all these wonderful images. Basically, it's nothing more than that. Okay, I thank you very much, Tommy. Gabi, how do you say goodbye in Romanian?
La revedere.
La revedere.
Yeah, you got it.
Well, of course, if I speak Spanish, it's just easier for me to it. Okay, bye. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Gabi.
so much.
Bye.
Bye.